What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Kickin with Kachi, where we highlight individuals that are honestly taking the industry by storm, or really just dope individuals that you guys need to get to know better. And today, we have the honor and the pleasure to sit down with recording artists, and as we're gonna find out later, director as well, me plus L. Thank you so much, brother, for coming in and kicking it with me. I know it's late on a Saturday, but I appreciate you taking time
out. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And we're just gonna go right into it, you know what I'm saying? Like, as the people want to know, like, where did the journey start, right? Where did you decide to get into music, and decide to say, hey, like, this is something I want to pursue a little bit more seriously than the average person?
Yeah, so honestly, it started probably like when I was 13, 14. Growing up in New York, the first artist I heard was Jay, 50.
Yeah.
And then that kind of dived me into Kanye, and now I'm starting to listen to samples, listen to R&B, Aaliyah, Lauryn Hill. So I just fell in love with melodies, fell in love with making music. And I really started off rapping.
Really?
Like just rap. Like, yeah, I wanted to rap. My name was J Mel at first.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, because I wanted to do the whole Jay-Z thing. So I just said J Mel off my name. But then, like, listening to samples, hearing more R&B, I started singing. And, after that, it kind of just, you find your sound. You grow up, you find your sound, you try, you experiment. And that's all it came down to.
And then where did the name Me Plus L come from?
So that's a funny story. Like, Me Plus L, it's still probably going to be that. But it started off as, like, a clothing brand.
Okay.
And that name, it came off, like, I was, my sophomore year of college, I think. And it was like probably one of my like most depressing years, I feel, because it's like when you head into college, you really don't know what you want to do.
Right. Where did you go to school?
And it's not, I went to John Jay in the city.
Okay.
It's a criminal justice school, yeah.
Right.
So I was really just doing that for other people, if I'm being honest with you. But I was doing it, and then I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, like, creatively, because I had a lot of endeavors, passions that I had. So I came up, I think it was I saw some Will Smith quote that probably wasn't even his, but it said something like, "Oh, every lesson is a loss, like every loss is a lesson." That's what it said.
Right.
And I was like, damn, that hits. Like, every loss really is a lesson. You learning off everything, and at the time it felt like I was losing because I didn't know what I was doing in my life. Like, how do I incorporate that into my personal life? So my nickname is Mel. That's what all my friends call me. They call me Mel. So I was just like, damn, okay, Mel, me. And I'm just like, Me plus L. I don't know how I did it, but that's how I came up with it. And I was like, I'm gonna have that just be my moniker, be what I embrace. So I'm going based off, every loss is a lesson. You add your L. You know how people use the slang.
Right, exactly. Right.
Exactly.
And it's cool you kind of flipped it too, because like you got the L, but the L is embedded in itself, usually has a negative connotation, but you flipped it to have a lesson. Right, exactly. And like coming out of New York, like you said, coming into music scene, like you already know what our music's like back at home. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, our music is all glad, glad, bow, and boom, boom music. You know what I'm saying? So how do you feel? How did you sort of navigate or pivot away from the lyricism, the rapping, to something a little bit more melodic and heavily using samples?
I just feel like it's doing what represents you. Like, if you know that's not what represents you, that's not what you really carry out in your regular life, then you don't really got to do that. It just comes naturally if you just rap or sing on what you actually going through. So it was kind of easy for me to kind of see what's going on in New York and be like, damn, that's not really what I represent. I'm not representing the New York sound, but at least I'm representing me. And that's all that matters. Like, if they fuck with it, they fuck with it. It's hard though, especially when your friends listening to a bunch of hip hop artists. That's like, damn, if I turn on my music though, they're not really gonna jack it.
Right.
It's bigger than you. It's bigger than you. You gotta realize there's fans in different countries globally that's gonna fuck with your sound, and you gotta stay true to yourself.
And I was gonna say that too, right? And looking at like your Spotify recap, I was gonna go quote the numbers right now, like 160 countries, right? 679,000 streams, 174.9, let's just say 175,000 listeners, right? And then 22,000 hours on Spotify, right? Is there a formula? Is there a sort of algorithm or steps that you kind of felt like brought you to this moment definitively? Or did you feel like it just kind of happened by chance because you just been consistent at the job?
I feel like It's definitely luck. It's definitely patience and being ready when it's your time.
Right.
Because I was making my music, and it wasn't really, I'm promoting as much as I can promote, putting it outside, putting it under comments, doing all the promo tactics.
Right.
But what really helped me was I stood my ground. I said I'm gonna keep going, and then luckily LeBron happened to see me on a promo post. Nice. Shouted my music out, and all the people that's like, yo, I was fucking with his music, but I didn't really show the love right then and there. Now you want to show the love because somebody else with notoriety is showing love. So it just exploded from there.
And what sort of tactics did you feel? Because you started, I don't know if you started, but professionally, I would assume like music videos, singles, EPs coming out 2020, 2019-ish, right? So it's been about was it 2023 now? 3 to 4 years almost, right? Given the music industry, that in itself is like 6 months, right? And how many people are trying to make music, how much music is in the industry. Like even the big artists right now understand they have to put an album, single, feature, all this stuff because there's just so many different names coming out. So what sort of tactics did you come up with, or sort of tactics you adopt, sort of figure out to help promote your music and help push your music in a way?
I feel like depending on what you're going for, I feel like EPs is the way. Because you give them something short, you give them something sweet. A single, they might not only know you for your single. If your single blow up, you put too much pressure on yourself to do exactly what that single was. But if you give them an EP, you can give them a little bit of flavor, but something that they can actually pay attention to. Because attention spans is shorter nowadays. We gotta understand that. So you can't come out as a new artist and give an album. So I feel like a 2, 3 song, 4 song EP is the best way to go right now. And that's just what I did. So I gave, people something like a whole palette of what I could do as an artist.
Right. And I feel like with your EPs, you started off with Her in the City Volume 1, right? How do you come up with the idea of saying, hey, I've made music, I've been producing, I've been recording, working on your craft? What made you think, hey, now is the time to release a body of art that represents me as an artist?
I think it was just more so like not being too overthinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta really eventually, if you wait too long, your time will pass you by. So it's like, all right, I gotta put this out there, whether I'm gonna get 1,000 plays right away or 1 play right away. I gotta put this out there because future is gonna thank me. The future me is gonna thank me later. When you put it out there, you like, damn, I took a chance. I took that risk. I put my music out there.
Did you already kind of have a following or already have some sort of social media presence before you started doing music, or do you feel like it kind of built through the music career?
Nah, yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I probably had like 500 followers.
You got 12.9K right now. What you mean you have 5? What? No. What's up with the sauce?
I had 500 followers when I started, and then I started doing little promos, like the IG promos.
Yeah, right.
You find little rap pages here and there, and then you can hit them up and say, hey, I'm making music. What I got to do to get on your page? And if the people are fucking with you on that page, I'm gonna tell you, a lot of them is hit or miss. A lot of them, they post you, and people's like, it's ass. And they not fucking with you. You don't get nothing off it. But you keep going, you keep being consistent. There's gonna be some people that like, hey, I actually fuck with this, and it grows slowly and slowly.
Is there a dollar amount behind that? Because I know a lot of people think that, oh, my talent is gonna carry me forward, my authenticity is gonna carry me forward, my originality will carry me forward. And I be trying to tell people, listen, man, we all unique and original nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone knows you're a good person, you talented as fuck, but at the end of the day, like, you know what I'm saying? Like for you, like that as someone that, like you said, grew from 500 to 12.9K, that's what you talk about. Like, is that something that you feel like is a very important factor saying, yo, like you gotta pay, you gotta pay for promo. Right? You gotta pay someone else to put yourself out there, whether they get behind it or not, just to pay it out there. Is that something that you feel like is a major contribution to?
You're not getting there without it.
Right. And I wanted to get more into, like, you have this EP, right? Her in the City, Volume 1, real melodic, real sweet, real cute, you know what I'm saying? Covers with you and a girl outside the deli, the sound of third. You can hear me? Sure, I think the video.
Yeah.
Okay, good. You can hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah,
yeah, I was like, you got Her in the City is you, cute girl in front of the New York deli, real cute vibe. But then Next EP is Demon Time. Like, what was the reason? What was the thought process for saying, yo, I went real cool, real smooth, real suave on the first EP, and then he is gonna go crazy Demon Time on the next EP.
I like the idea of seasonal EPs, and it was Halloween at that time. So I was just like, you know what? Instead of waiting to give them something else, I'm just gonna give them a seasonal EP, something like, oh, Halloween that month that could fit that vibe. So I was like, at the time, I think, who was out? There was artists out that was doing the whole Demon Time thing. So I was just like, let me incorporate, you know, put my little 2 cents in with that, with my style and my sound. So I thought it was good timing. That's all it really was.
Nah, that's dope. And I feel like, you know, like during that time, I think Drake also had like his Scary Hour, his demo tapes, LP, you know what I'm saying? And it also was 2020, so a lot of people was making like real, like in the house, in the studio music, real dark type music, you know what I'm saying? But then you got like different situation, things like that. So how influenced by samples and how much music do you kind of listen to on a daily basis to kind of incorporate it in your sound?
I'll tell you right now, I probably listen to over like 100,000 songs, bro. Like everything, like, because when you take in the train transportation, you gonna have your headphones in. So it's really just took me like, damn, I want to pursue the music. So I started listening to 80s, 90s, 60s, 70s, just jack swing, R&B. I was like, damn, I want to really like I know a lot of people is just like, yo, you sound like Mike. But like, if I'm being honest,
a little bit, you know, I was thinking that too. I was like, I heard because Different Situations is my favorite song, so I'm like, hold on, this nigga got a little heat to the vibes right now. Like, he got a little MJ to it.
It's a bunch of artists. It's a bunch of artists that had that sound that I'm not gonna lie inspired me more so than even MJ himself, the Blueprint.
Right. And like now you got, you know, music. You got New York City on lock, right? You got that going on. And going into now film direction and music video direction, how important is that for you to be in control of how you're perceived, and what made you sort of think that you can also be behind the camera, directing, orchestrating, curating the set while also being the focal point, you know what I'm saying, being the star of the show, essentially?
Exactly. That's the biggest part. And I feel like the way I like directing things, to be honest, I'm still like kind of nervous in front of a camera. I'm like, damn, okay, how can I show my art but not be in front of it, but still show it's me, you know? So I'll be coming up with creative ways to like highlight other people, because I feel like it's okay to be the background character and be a star at the same time. You don't always got to be in front of the camera. You know what I'm saying? Like doesn't have to be the goal of every artist. Like if you can find creative ways to portray your art, do so. Like, and that's my biggest passion. Like just showing how I can come up with creative ways, you know, without doing it the most basic way, simplest way possible.
Right. So then what sort of, you have a lot of like heavy New York centric like visuals, right? Yeah. Where do you kind of like to go to just unwind, get your mind right in the city?
Let me think. I'll say, see, I'll be taking the trains a lot. So I'll be around a lot of like, I'll be seeing a bunch of different cities, bunch of different places.
Right.
So I'll see something, I'll be like, damn, that would be a good spot for a video. That looks different. Like that urban feel look different. Yeah. So I'll take mental notes. Like if I'm on the train, I'm not afraid to get up and be like, nah, I'm gonna take a video of this. I'll keep my camera with me. I'll take a video because I know it could be some type of visual for a later music video down the line.
Right. Do you think of the visual first, or do you feel like as you're making the song, it's like, oh, this is the visuals that I have? Or do you kind of say, oh, like you see a scene or you see a picture or whatever, and you're like, oh, like it inspires you to make music, right? I don't know if that question makes sense.
No, it definitely did. It definitely depends on the song. I'll be going back and forth with it. Let me see here.
You're kind of breaking up a little bit. Okay, cool. I think you're good now.
Yeah, we good.
Yeah, continue.
It depends on the music video. If I'm going for something that has more of a plot to it, then it'll be like, all right, I'm gonna think about it beforehand. But there's some videos I would be like, all right, this visual will be good for this part.
And then do you have like what more, like what do you kind of have in store for us? I know you just dropped a new song, Toxic, right? That's at the
Yeah.
beginning of the year. Is that leading up to another EP, finally an album coming up maybe, or what do we have going on for 2023?
To be honest, I'm really trying to take over the summer. I'm
Right.
really dialing in, trying to do some summer songs that's I feel like it's really gonna take it to the next level. So it's gonna be summer songs and visuals. That's all I'm focused on right now. Toxic. I have another song, Yosemite, was just more so,
Yeah,
okay,
right,
I'm back. Because I took
right,
a little hiatus and I was like, I'm back with these songs, enjoy these songs for now, but get in store for what's gonna come soon.
right. And as an artist right now in this day and age, like everybody's, like I said, everybody's pushing music, even with like internet,
Nah.
right? Everyone's doing the whole internet content creation thing, right? Do you feel like as an artist, like you taking a hiatus, did you ever feel like, ah man, like I'm getting washed for the game, even at our age, right? Like you gone for 6 months, it feels like you a has been, like you old news, you know what I'm saying? So did was that kind of a feeling in that hiatus where you're like, ah nah, I gotta remind them that I'm back? Or how did you feel kind of taking that step back and saying, basically giving yourself letting the competition run while you're giving yourself time to flow and get back into the groove?
Nah, that's the biggest confidence you gotta have as an artist. When you gotta realize, like, okay, I made a dent. Like I made a
Right,
dent in where I'm trying to go with this music thing to where
right,
I actually got fans and supporters, but
right,
I can't quite give them exactly everything I want to give them.
right,
You know what
right.
I'm saying? Because you need that funding. You need to focus on your real life, focus on everything if you really want to be the most solid artist. So for me, it's like an up and down. Some days you're like, damn, like this person blew up, this person blew up. I
Right,
should be
right, right,
there. But then there's other days when you realize my time will come. Because if I
right,
did it before, I know I can do it again. And that's
right,
the
right.
confidence you gotta have in yourself.
I was gonna say, like,
For
as you're
real.
doing, you have your New York City based, right? We already know New York City is the mecca of all music, mecca of all hip hop. Did you kind of feel like it was kind of a push, like kind of a breaking through the glass ceiling of, you already know everybody's doing the gla gla boom music, everyone's doing the drill
Nah,
sound, even if you haven't been drilling your life, you're doing the drill music just to try it out, right? And your style is so completely different. So do you feel like you have to kind of push against the grain a little bit to kind of really break out in this dog eat dog world society that we have in New York City?
I feel a little bit of that. I feel like it's almost like my job to show that there's different sides of it. Like you
Right,
don't
right,
gotta be exactly on that to just because you're from New York. That doesn't exactly have to be your sound. You know,
right.
you could show something different. So I feel a little bit of that for sure.
And I think you
Yeah.
have, if I'm not mistaken, a little bit of a island vibe, a Caribbean vibe to you too, if I'm not
Nah,
mistaken.
yeah. I'm Jamaican,
This
so
this is a
it
little bit.
naturally
It's
can
a,
come.
right, 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 right. So you also, like, show that rhythm as well, right? So, and now coming back to like direction and visuals and sound and third, was that always a passion of yours? Camera, photography, visuals, taking in your scenery.
Oh yeah, I would say so. I used to do that a lot. Like I said, I'm somebody that was kind of behind the camera. Like I would take photos, I would take visuals of other things. So it only made sense that I incorporate that for my art.
Right,
So
right,
like that's like my second biggest passion. If music keeps going the way I want it to go, I'll start film directing other people's music videos if I really
right,
want.
right, right. And like now that you have, right, like you're going as big as you are, you're now with management and you're now professionalizing and cleaning up all the loose ends of this creative professionalism, right? So what advice do you kind of have to someone that needs to, make their passion a profession, right? There is a lot of legal work, a lot of technical work that's more than just the fun of going to the studio and recording a dope track, right? There's so much more in that. So how did you kind of come to the decision and make the decision to say, hey, I'm doing this. Now I need to make it legitimized. I need to have a manager. I need to have a team. I need to go through all this. What sort of steps did you take to ensure that you had those things?
It's just more so realizing like, hey, like not everything can be done by yourself,
Right,
especially
right,
in the industry of one percenters. You competing against people that have a machine against them. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Like so it really just came down to like, damn, like I need somebody as invested as I am in my craft to be alongside with me. Like a team basically. And the first step
right,
to a
right,
team is management. You're not gonna get the labels first. You're gonna get your management and they're gonna get you that machine.
Right.
So it's more so finding people that was like, all right, you invested just as much as I'm invested. Let's get
Right.
this together.
Right. Right. And how much do you kind of feel? I guess that also answers my next question as an artist. What is the experience in trusting someone else to push your art for you, get you into rooms, get you talking to different people, different executives, different, producers, different artists, stuff like that? I don't know. I think we were kind of, did you hear my full question?
It's just more so telling me the real, like, cause nah, yeah, I heard you. I heard you. You
Oh,
good?
okay. Yeah. Okay. Great.
Gotcha. So,
Yes.
so yeah, it's just more so hearing the real. Like, you don't want somebody that's just promising you abundant everything you want right away with so much people trying to do the same thing. So if
Right.
somebody tells you the reality of the situation and they tell you what they could do for you in that, in your circumstances, that's something that you kind of look forward to, and you like, okay, this person's telling
Right.
me the real truth behind the music industry. They telling me what we could accomplish, and it's not like they being too down about it, but they're just telling you the reality of it.
Right.
And that's what you
Exactly.
look for when you're looking for in a team.
The honest truth, right? You don't look for the yes men. You look for the people that are trying to
Yeah,
get you
yeah,
into
I don't want to
rooms
look
where people
for
will
too
say
much
yes.
promises.
Right, exactly. And, as we get more into that, as we get to know more about you, I want to do a quick lightning round, just to get to know you better. I don't know whoever's watching this, but maybe they'll see it and they'll get you a nice little gift. I don't know.
Yeah.
So the
For
first
sure.
question I want to ask you, I'm always about food. I'm always about dishes. I love food, and you're Jamaican. That's one of my favorite places to get food. Like I'm from the Bronx, so you already know. Like I'm from Uptown
Yeah,
too, so I got Jamaican
you
food
know.
galore in my back repertoire. You know what I'm saying? So what's your favorite dish? What's your favorite yard man dish, yard boy dish?
Mm. I'll say probably oxtail rice and peas, some stew.
Oxtail rice and peas. If you can
Yeah,
get it
some
from the
stew
store, if they
chicken.
got it, man. Sheesh.
Yeah, I'll say if you want to get some good Jamaican food, go to Flavors. Flavors probably got
Huh.
the best Jamaican food out here in New York.
You in BK, right?
I'm actually right now I'm in Bronx. I'm from
Okay.
Queens though. I'm from Queens originally.
Got you. I was saying because Flavors is a Bronx spot.
Nah, yeah, I'm in the Bronx, so
Okay, okay,
that's what
okay.
we do.
So what's your now that you want to say what's your favorite spot in the city to hang out with your friends and go to?
Got you. I'll be saying I hang around. Well, I'll really be outside at. Damn. I don't- It really depends. Like I don't know. Like I'll be too much places to remember really.
But you be
Like to have
outside
a
though.
favorite
That's just so
spot.
we know. You be outside in the towns.
Yeah, I'll be outside. I'll be outside.
Okay, okay. So now that you outside, right? People find you outside. There's almost Valentine's Day. I'm letting you know Valentine's Day is this Tuesday, but maybe when it release, it'll be a little bit after Valentine's Day. Maybe you can get a little after Valentine's Day gift. I don't know. Whoever's watching this, that's up to them.
Yeah.
But what's your ideal Valentine's Day gift?
Ideal. Probably something that's an experience. Like if I know like your favorite places to go, let's say you like movies, I'm probably gonna rent out the whole movie theater for you, let you watch your
Now I'm
favorite
talking
movie.
about your gift, man. Forget about that. I'm talking about what they got to get
Oh,
for you.
then you see how I'm wired already. I'm already
That's what I'm saying.
about
Hey
them.
man, some
Shit.
women, some women treat their men. Some women treat their men. So,
I
so what's
mean,
an
for me,
ideal gift for
shit, get me
you?
in the studio. That's a great thing for me.
Oh,
To,
pay
to
the
be
studio
honest, you know
time.
how crazy it is? You get me in the studio. Yeah, get me in the studio for like a good week, a day. I'll appreciate that. You know what I'm saying?
I feel
That's
that,
that's
man.
really how my mind works, to be honest. I just love making music. So
Bro, for my birthday, I told my girl, I'm like, bro, I don't need nothing, but just let me like get like a pack of backwoods, a half, and just let me watch some anime all day. That's all I need. That's all I need, man.
so just some peace of mind.
I just like exactly. Let me just have peace, just peace and quiet, man. Like,
We
so where has been like your favorite place that you've traveled to?
favorite place. I'll say DR was cool. I went to DR before and that was a good vibe for sure.
Right, right. I guess
Yeah.
that also helped with the music too. They got amazing music scene.
Yeah. Them beaches look crazy. So like DR was definitely a good vibe just to see that. It inspired me because it's like, yo, I gotta do this more often.
Right, right, right.
For sure.
And what is your, and this is probably gonna be, like, very, very controversial for you, but I'm not afraid to make the artists kill their babies. So what is your favorite song that you've made?
My favorite song that I made. It's probably unreleased. It's not even made yet.
Whoa! Yo, you gotta send it to me, man. Hold on. Because you got my number, so I already know that you can.
I'm gonna send you some shit that you like, damn, this nigga's gonna be it.
Bro, I'm about to make a Kicking It with Kachi unreleased note because the amount of people that be on this show that got unreleased that be sending it to me. Don't let me leak your shit, me plus out. Don't let me leak. I'm gonna go famous off of that. I might make a quick buck, you know what I'm saying? I got that me plus L for the low. I'm gonna tell people that. Nah, I wouldn't leave that, but definitely send it to me though. I definitely need to hear that.
I got you.
Definitely. So last but not least, I'm always telling people that when people watch this, someone else is watching this and they need to hear this conversation, hear your story, hear your journey, which is why I do this, right? And I feel like whether you agree or not, it's up to you to bestow some knowledge, right, on that next individual, that next person that's trying to do exactly what you're trying to do, or maybe do what you're doing, but in a different industry, right? Just trying to make their own dreams come true as well. So what are 3 lessons that you learned that you kind of want to share to that next person coming up?
Got you. So I would say 1, don't get too comfortable, of course. Think, the numbers is gonna go up, but
right.
You gotta remember, you're doing it to reach a higher level. So never get too comfortable with what you at. Stay true to who you are. As cliche as it sounds, just stay true to your sound. Don't feed too much into the consumers what they want, because they always gonna want something else. But they was listening to you for what you originally did. So keep doing what got you there. Don't listen to nobody else but you. 3rd, damn, keep your peace of mind. Keep your peace of mind for sure. It's gonna get hectic. You're gonna be, anxiety, nerves, all of that. You're probably overthinking it though.
Right.
Whatever you're doing, just keep doing it with the major confidence, because you're probably overthinking it.
Most likely. And I definitely agree to that last point, because mad times I was thinking about doing Kicking with Kachi. I'm like, I don't know if I should do it. I don't know if people are gonna watch it. People don't like the IG live. They want to send it too long. And then now we're here 2 years later, you know what I'm saying? And here you are 4 years later doing your music, doing your thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, testament to a true and true.
Nah, yeah, I need to see that Kicking with Kachi bigger too.
I'm saying, man. Like, hey, this is gonna be a lot more in person. Don't quote me on that, but just know I'm about to. Hey, I don't just get people on here just to talk. I'm leveling up with you too now.
I hear that.
But nah, thank you so much, me plus L, for coming by, kicking it with me, man. Like I said, it's late today, but thank you for taking the time out and really talking to me, because honestly, man, you're a dope individual, and I'm glad I got to talk to you. Definitely.
Thank you.
Of course. And you guys, thank you for watching this episode. You can check out this episode at the DC Voice on Instagram, and you guys can watch, listen, and follow up with me plus L at Instagram at that name, me plus L on Instagram. Follow up with him. Check all his music on all streaming platforms. Get that new song Toxic and new song You'll Send Me out right now on all streaming platforms. Look out for that new EP, that new album dropping this year. And honestly, man, me plus L, you got any last words for us?
No, that's all I got. Thank y'all for listening. Thank you to all my supporters who keep supporting, and I got way more stuff for y'all.
Love it. I love it. And when I'm back in New York City, man, we definitely gotta link up and we gotta do some content together.
For sure.
Of course. But hey, man, it's a good night.